When's the definitive cut of Wonder Woman coming to DVD? Well, hate to tell ya, there is no such thing. I'm Sasha Pearl-Raver, and this is Screen Junkies News. In an interview with Collider, Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins opened up about the process of shooting and editing the upcoming DCEU film, saying, quote, "We've got the DVD now. They keep wanting to put in cutscenes, and there aren't any," end quote. So for those of you wanting a definitive director's cut, guess what? Just go ahead and head straight to the theater, because it's waiting for you right there. Here with me to talk about what this means is our very own Roth Cornet. Hi,
Hello,
Roth.
Wonder Woman.
For people who don't know, what is the difference between a director's cut, a theatrical cut, and maybe an extended cut?
You kind of left my wristband hanging, but let's get into it.
I would never leave any of your wrists hanging.
So let's get into it a little bit. So what it's come to mean for us, and probably Blade Runner, I think, was one of the first huge examples of this. The theatrical cut is the studio cut, which means the director and the studio have come together and say, we agree to put this out, or sometimes the director doesn't agree. This is what we're putting out in theaters. And then this can mean something a little bit different throughout the editorial process. But when they release a director's cut, that's the one that the director approved. That's what they liked and wanted to go. And sometimes they'll have to compromise a little bit with the studio. And then there are things like extended cuts, which will take cut scenes from the movies, often for the sake of time, and put them back in, and they'll extrapolate a little bit more on plot points and character and things like that. We've seen more and more of that recently. Here, what we're extrapolating from what she said is that if there are no cut scenes and no deleted scenes for the DVD, then there will be no extended cut, and the director's cut is the studio cut, is what you're going to see in the theater, which is really pretty amazing and rare.
And also, in the interview, she went on to say, quote, "We didn't cut one scene in this movie, nor did we change the order of one scene in this movie from the script that we went in shooting with."
That is even more rare.
Is insane.
That's insane.
I saw a film recently. I'm not sure if I can name check it or not. I'll tell you sort of my issue, and then you can tell me if I can name check it. But you can see these like ghost limbs. You can see scenes that you know came later in the movie that they moved up. You can see scenes where they added in ADR to try to make a plot point make more sense. And there's like a shifting sort of Jenga puzzle of where they were trying to make their story land. This is a very clear vision. They went in with a specific story they wanted to tell, and they told that story. Like, if they trimmed anything, maybe it's an edit, maybe somebody improv something, but that's pretty much it.
There's a lot of times that films go into production with incomplete scripts, that scripts are still processed. And again, this isn't necessarily anything bad, that some of the language and some of the dialogue and things like that will change on a day. And another thing that's not bad is reshoots. You know, that's very common. Everything.
Reshoots have gotten a really bad name. Yeah. And we wanted, we have to keep reinforcing this. Yeah. Reshoots mean that they're found a problem and they're fixing that problem, and it happens all the time. And if anything, when you hear something's reshooting,
good news.
That's
they're
good
fixing
news,
it.
because it means that there was an issue and now there won't be, perhaps.
You know, I mean, like, sometimes it means that there is a massive problem, but for the most part, it means that there were little things that they found, like a continuity issue, or like this moment needed a little bit more explanation.
Or maybe a character tested better than they thought they would.
And they add more in, things like that. So it's really not a big deal. But what she was saying about her process was, you know, she trimmed it, you know, and tightened it up. And she was looking for the moments. She says specifically they're looking for the tone and how to balance the tone. And this is a movie that really needs a deft hand in that, particularly editorially, because it's accomplishing a lot at once, right? Finding where the jokes are really working, discovering the humor, things like that. And she said that there were some big emotional beats that she was hitting already in the finale, and maybe she wanted to fill those out or make sure that they were addressed in a particular way. But to go have the script be pretty much what you see on screen is amazing. Very, very rare.
So there are times where you can look at a few directors who do that, where they will actually publish the shooting script. The shooting script is basically the script that they go in with. It's like Tarantino, who will have a shooting script that is the script you see on screen.
And he wrote it.
Yeah, Kubrick.
he knew what he wanted.
Yeah, Kubrick is somebody else who, like, what you saw on the page is what you got.
Yeah.
Fincher is somebody who will do 100 takes because they want something exact.
And also Edgar Wright is somebody that storyboards at every single thing. So I bet you could publish his storyboards.
That would be amazing.
And I don't know if this is,
that would be
if
amazing.
you could publish his storyboards, but you know, it would be interesting to see that. And Hitchcock, very famously, like you could probably take those, you can take those storyboards and look at the film, and I'm sure they're very, very, very close.
Which is something, when we talk about the production process, when we talk about like release dates, these are things that don't really happen in the same way anymore because we've got previs now instead of storyboards. And sometimes, like you said, a lot of scripts aren't entirely finished before they head into production. It's not just with action movies too, it's with comedies. Sometimes they're like big dramas where they're like, we don't know. But even something like, we were at the DVD release of Get Out, and Jordan Peele was talking about how the final moment in the movie was entirely different. And if you get that DVD, you can see the alternate ending. And they started testing the movie and they realized that it wasn't working and they needed a different ending, which is the ending that exists now.
Yeah. Which again is not always a bad thing, and I think that's one of the amazing thing about movie making is like everybody has a different process, you know, and there's this alchemy that happens. So there are things called happy accidents, and directors who are more open to that. That's not the end of The Graduate. For example, is famously a happy accident, right? It wasn't, it was this moment that was very organic where the actors were just worn out and overwrought, and they just let go. And that ended up being one of the most iconic endings of all time. Legend and lore has it, that's one of the most famous happy accidents. So like, whether you are a person, you are a Hitchcock who is like, this is exactly what this film is going to be, who is a genius, or you are somebody that's open to the experience itself and what it's giving you. Either way, we come out with some great films.
Yeah, like when one of my favorites is Rob Reiner talks about in When Harry Met Sally, when they're improvising in the Temple of Dendor moment, and Billy Crystal starts doing, would you like some pepper? And she looks off camera because she's looking at Rob Reiner, and he's like, go with it, go with it, go with it. So sometimes there are stumbled upon moments. When we talk about stumbled upon moments,
this is a little bit off the topic of Wonder Woman, but it's a fun conversation for me, Sasha.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is stumbling upon, sometimes you're on social media and you stumble upon something and you're just like, and last night for me, it was a red carpet photo of Lynda Carter throwing up dubs on the red carpet of Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, whose name you can really
talk
only
about
say.
the name?
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. So
there are a million pronunciations.
There are a million ways that people pronounce the name. I say Gadot, and the reason that I do that because I know I'm not. It's Gadot, and you can only do it if you do it.
You can only do it with an accent.
You can only do it with an accent.
Gal Gadot.
And then you feel sort of like a jerk because you're doing an accent and you really have that accent. And I remember many, many moons ago, this is going to sound really weird. I did this Facebook like live chat with the ladies of Fast 7 and no 6. And so they taught me how to say her name that way, and I've said it that way ever since.
Oh.
So I don't blame myself.
No, don't.
But I have anxiety about saying her name.
No, it's the potato of 2017. Just all you have to say now is Wonder Woman. But there was
Let's just say Wonder Woman.
There was a Wonder Woman before her, and it was Lynda Carter, who I remember so belovedly. She showed up on the red carpet as well, looking beyond stunning. And there is this wonderful moment of the two of them sort of hugging it out on the red carpet. And sometimes with Patty Jenkins in the background, there were so many images from this premiere of Gal signing shields for little girls, of Lynda Carter walking the red carpet to support the new Wonder Woman. I'm talking about it now and I'm getting chills because we've been talking about this movie for so long. You have seen it, I have seen it. We both loved it.
Yes.
It is meaningful beyond so much, and to see these two women supporting each other and to be supporting
and passing the shield, passing the
she's passing the lasso.
She's passing the lasso of truth, and it was I think for fans one of those moments that I saw it everywhere also on Twitter last night because it gives everyone chills, and it is such a beautiful, exciting moment. And to see Patty Jenkins in the background, you're right, and
Patty Jenkins' face is all of our faces. She's
she's so excited about it because these two Wonder Women are coming together. Yes. And the last thing I'll say about Patty Jenkins, and we both love this film, and kudos to Patty Jenkins, my God.
Seriously.
is that when we were talking about those different styles that directors have, for me, what it feels like and what she's saying, I don't know, I wasn't there, but my interpretation is that she's maybe a director that is a combination of those things. Like she went in with a clear vision, she knew what she wanted, and then she was also open to what needed to happen after that to really hit the moment she wanted to hit. And that's a pretty amazing process.
If you want to talk about the moment you want to hit, go see Wonder Woman.
Yes.
It is so...
Well, we can't review it.
We're not reviewing it.
The review will come out Monday at 9.
Go see it because we want your opinion. That's what we want. We want to know what you thought. If you're excited for it, even if you're sad that there will never be an extended cut, let us know in the comments below. Tweet us at SJ News. Make sure to like and subscribe. And of course, you can always click here for more Screen Junkies news.